when you look at that, then Nick Ralston obviously making that big move from running back to linebacker, it looks like by and large has had a good spring so far.
He is. Nick is a natural football player. He kind of has a feel where the ball's going to go. We're kind of on the whole all 11 spots. We're kind of playing some musical chairs, trying to put guys with talent guys so that they can see if they can mix in and play and show what they can do. And Nick's doing a nice job stepping up.
When he played running back, a lot of the team has talked about his football IQ being very high. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that as a linebacker?
Definitely. I mean, he sees guards pulling. He knows where to naturally fit. He knows how to slip blocks. He knows where to send the block to if he can't make the play. So he's done. That's why he's with the ones right now. I mean, he's between him and Kalen. Smart-wise, they're both assignment sound. They know how to get lined up. We make a few mistakes here and there, but he's got a little bit more savvy to him right now as far as where the ball's going and what's going, and he's kind of earned himself some reps with the first team.
I know you want versatility with your defensive linemen to be able to play inside or out. Where do you think George Leaf will fit in terms of the position he'll play or the role?
From watching tape on George last year, I think he can play both nose and end. I think with Rennell and him inside, you've got guys that you can rotate on an even basis. I mean, they can go 3-3, 4-4, and I don't think you lose anything. I think we're building some depth at the end position. I mean, I think Jordan Hoyt he's done a great job. I mean, that young man is a walk-on that has earned his way into playing on the field, and I'm counting on him being a part of the rotation next year. And then you've got Shannon and Jalen on the outside. Doug Suttle has done some nice things. And then you've got a couple guys in Tyler Johnson and Derek Slade who have been in practice the last couple practices, and they show they've got talent. They've got to keep getting reps so that they can fit in with everybody else. But we've got some depth up front with some guys that can play at this level. And George Lee just adds to that. And I wish we had him here for spring. I mean, he's missing valuable reps. Not so much, I know what he can do talent-wise from watching him on game tape, but meeting the expectation of how hard we expect him to play. I mean, it's going to be brand new to him when we start in fall. And I think those are invaluable reps that he's missing out on.
He'll probably, I mean, at San Diego State, he played 5-6 guys, no problem. You'll probably do the same thing with this group? Yeah.
We can play 7, we'll play 7. I mean, if we've got 7 that are good enough, we're only going to put guys out there that can play at a winning level. I think we have 6 or 7 up front right now. We're not as thick in the secondary and at linebacker as we are up front. But if there's any spot on a football team you ever want to have more depth, it's up front. Because DBs can play 100 plays. I mean, they should physically be conditioned enough to do that. D linemen, you can't. I mean, when you're running into a 300-pound guy every single play, it takes a big toll on you. So I feel fortunate that we've got, I think, probably the most talent on defense up front.
So on that note, do you feel that when the newcomers come in the summer, that maybe defensive backs is probably the area that by and large can make a bigger impact compared to the other positions?
Definitely, and I think for 2 reasons. I think in the game of football, the further, and I was taught this a long time ago, the further you are away from the football, the sooner you can play. I mean, you get down there and nose guard and end, it's loud. I mean, and those boys are big. Being out in the secondary, you can use your athletic ability. Some of those seniors in high school are physically as talented as some of these freshmen, sophomore, juniors in college. And so when you don't have to pound for pound go against somebody on every play, you can survive out there. It takes a really special guy to start or play on the offensive line or defensive line in a true freshman year. Then the further you get away, I mean, you step a couple feet off the ball at linebacker, your athletic ability can help you a little bit. And then you get in the secondary or at wideout, your athletic ability can be the difference. I mean, there's some true freshmen out there that are every bit as talented as seniors across the country. So, but I think, once again, we're fortunate to have our development in the strength up front. And we'll see. I mean, we got guys like Merle Robertson and Ashar Croswell and Ken Phillips. Those guys come in, they're further away from the ball, they'll have a chance to compete. Jermaine Lole, who's a really good football player, it's hard for an 18-year-old to go against a 23-year-old mature man. I mean, it's just physically.
How do you think the team has kind of responded to Herman's comments from the other day? Did you notice any difference out there today? Or? need more
That's
intensity?
it's interesting. I think there's a combination of that. Yeah, what his comment of you're gonna be here or not, that's no different than anywhere in America. I think he just phrased it to him. I mean, the good thing is we're not taking a scholarship away from anybody. No kid on this football team is gonna lose their scholarship. Every year in every program, coaches evaluate the kids, and kids that fit into your scheme and kids that you recruit. Some of them work out, and there's kids sometimes they just don't fit into your scheme or what you're doing. And you have conversations with them every spring. You tell them, look, you're probably not going to play in our program, but we have enough connections on this coaching staff and throughout that any kid that really loves the game of football that wants to play, we'll find them a place. And there's plenty of schools out there that'll take kids that may not fit into what we're doing. So I think the really good thing is everybody around here sees what we're doing. They're buying into where we're taking the program and the direction we're going. There's some kids that just don't fit in, and it's nothing against them. And a lot of them understand. The ones that don't will, I mean, they're still going to have their school paid for, or if they really love football, they'll find a spot to play, and we'll help them do that. And so the intensity, did it pick up? I think it did pick up. I thought today, this is the negative side of me, I thought we were a soft football team today. Got a little bit warmer. We patted them on the back a little bit Tuesday because we had a pretty good practice. So we go out there today and a non-veteran group, they got my blood pressure up. I mean, I probably yelled today more than I've yelled since I've been here.
I noticed that.
And I mean, I'll tell you what, I won't settle for a soft football team. I'll put 10 guys, 11 guys out there that'll run into somebody and beat their head against the wall. But we didn't fight through it today. And I mean, it's good. I mean, the expectation that we have for them is that you're going to come out every day and you're going to compete and you're going to work hard. And we got a little bit tired, and that's the culture we got to change. You can't give in. I mean, we put the first team defense out there. We gave 8 plays in a row. Well, on the 8th play, there were some of them that were as tired as could be. I mean, I hope next year we don't have very many 8-play drives. That means we're pretty good on defense. But I can tell you from statistics, we're going to be out there some 10, 12-play drives that we don't make a play, or the quarterback makes a great throw, or they're driving the ball down. Well, those guys got to be able to play 10 plays. And they didn't today. So we let them know. And if I had any foul language, I apologize. I tried not to, but they got me going a little bit today. So and part coaching, I guess.
Well, you were at the other end, so you couldn't
That's
quite
good.
hear.
Well, that's good. 'Cause I'm sure there was a couple of them that you probably didn't want to, but that's okay.
Jalen Bates hasn't been able to play much. He had the knee injury a couple of years ago. What jumps out to you about him, and why is he out there so much with the ones?
Jalen Bates is a very talented young man that plays hard, and he's buying into everything that we're doing. I mentioned earlier, I think our strength up front is we've got a bunch of guys that are talented. If you look at that depth chart, though, we got a bunch of talented guys that haven't played a lot of football. Jalen Bates, he's like a freshman as far as playing in games. Darius Slade, he's like a freshman. I mean, that's a senior that hasn't played in live football games. So we've got a lot of talent, and Jalen Bates is talented. He looks pretty. He's 6'5". He can run like a deer, and he's doing everything that we're asking. And the young man plays hard, and I think he's got a lot of potential. But you know what everybody says about potential? Potential gets you fired. So I think we're going to keep working. I think Coach New is doing a great job with those guys up front to keep getting them to buy in on what we're doing. The good thing is, as much as I yelled at them today, nobody yelled back, which we won't allow that. We would kick them out and maybe send them off the field. But they did. Nobody's fighting back. They kind of understand, and we pissed them off today. Well, that's good. I mean, every once in a while, I might want one of them to step up to me and grab them by the face mask and throw them around the house. We need some of those guys that are going to play right on the edge of being too much. And if you get those guys and you can coach them and teach them how to control that emotion, then you have a chance to be really good. On Friday night, we came out, we didn't control that emotion. We had a drill, offense went against the defense, offense kicked our tail, and we had a bunch of guys over there that were really mad, and they wanted to just fight somebody. Well, that's great that you have that emotion, but you have to use that emotion to your advantage, and we're not there yet. So we didn't practice well the rest of that practice. We come out on Tuesday, they have a good day. We go outside today, it's 90 degrees, so it's a little bit warm. So we give in a little bit. I mean, that's our challenge right now as a coaching staff, is we're not a very mentally tough football team. And we've got a lot of advantages here because of the weather. I mean, you practice someone, it's 95 degrees outside. Nobody out here is going to die of dehydration or exhaustion because we've got more water and trainers out there, and we have theory period, we take breaks, so they get plenty of downtime so that they're not out there dying. But you can make them go hard, and you can put them in an extreme condition. I mean, we very easily could have went inside that bubble today and practiced where it's air conditioning. And what good is that going to do? It's going to make a bunch of guys that are soft softer. Okay, we've got a bunch of guys that have the ability to be tough, they just don't know it yet. And that's our job as coaches, to keep getting that out of them. And I think coaches have done a good job so far. I mean, the secondary, our biggest thing right now is we're in the right spot. We're not making plays. Well, it's not because we ain't talented enough. It's because we don't have enough confidence in what we're doing to drive on it and do it. And so, once again, that's our jobs as coaches. Keep them coming. Most of the time out there, I think our coaches have been really positive, and I think that's good because the kids feed off of what you're doing. Every once in a while, they'll piss you off, and you're not as nice. But that's okay. That's good for you.
Chase was out today. He just got a little.
Twisted his knee up. He begged me to practice. I told him I know what Chase can do physically from a physical standpoint, so we're going to get him checked out just to make sure that there's nothing really serious. He couldn't practice. He was a little mad at me. Good. Let me. It's okay.
He was tough.